Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the Guys Next Door. I'm your host, Ron Arenas.
You just look. You give me a look every time. If you didn't give me that look, maybe I wouldn't react the way that I did.
Wow. And that voice there is Pastor John McLean.
Yes, yes, it is. And Ron tries to mess with me with every intro. So if you haven't heard this show before, you know that Ron is either going to do the intro the correct way, quote unquote, the correct way.
I'm going to have to think of something
or
else.
He's gonna
totally
try
off.
to throw me off.
Yeah.
So I was expecting you to throw me off, especially you gave me this look like, okay, get ready.
So how was your time off?
It was
Yeah.
you were missed. You were
Oh,
missed.
well,
but
thank you.
like always, I appreciate you picking up the slack with the common good and doing the Guys Next Door without me. You know, because I certainly, it's not the same not being here versus being here. I
Right.
definitely love that, that extra time with my baby and all the other stuff I'm able to do kind of behind the scenes. But this is the most fun job one of the most fun jobs I've had in the world.
It is.
Maybe
It is.
I want to say the most fun, but like you've heard me say on so many occasions, being able to sit on the couch with a veteran who I helped him get that couch, helped him get that apartment. We can talk about him living in that tunnel and how far he's come, and us hugging and crying. That's number one.
Yeah.
But second to that would probably be this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, today we have with us Steve Nunez. Good morning. Or
Good
afternoon.
morning. Thank you guys, man. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, Ron, and
Thank you.
congratulations to all the work you've done in the community for the homeless people.
I appreciate
I remember covering you back when I was a reporter. So
Okay.
you've done great. So both of you, man, the Guys Next Door radio show, are you kidding me? Thank you, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. I mean, you've been in media for
I was
past
in media.
30 years.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
aging me.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that, Ron.
I was gonna say 20. I'm the nice one. I'm the good cop.
Yeah, you're the good guy. There you go. So listening to you guys just really quick, before the radio show started,
Uh-huh.
you guys talking about Celtics and Lakers
Yeah.
in preseason. Are you kidding me? Oh, my
Going back to
goodness.
the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we're going to take it back to the 80s, we're taking it back to the Chicago Bulls and the GOAT, Michael Jordan,
Okay.
baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is real basketball. Today's basketball is tough. Tough to get
It's
into.
tough. Yeah, it's tough to watch sometimes with all the fouls that they call.
No defense.
And yeah, well, you can't play defense because you'll have it
Yeah.
called on you. Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's definitely almost a little bit of that kind of like WWF
Yeah.
feel a little
Right.
bit more. There's definitely more of and they're trying to bring more juice and showmanship, showtimeness to it than what we're used to. Because I mean, back when Michael Jordan, first started playing, he was getting fined for wearing shoes that were black and red versus
Right.
Yeah.
the standard by the league. So
Yeah.
it's come a long way.
And basketball back then was tough, which is a
Yeah.
good segue
Mhm.
to today's mortgage industry, which is tough. We
Yeah,
all
I
know
bet.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, interest rates today on a national level are about, on average, 7.02%.
Oh, wow. And they just went
they've
up this
ticked
week, right?
They've been ticking up. And
Yeah.
for the last 4 weeks,
Yeah.
they've been ticking up.
Mm.
And so, we had that blurb
Mhm.
of interest rates that dropped 0.5%
Yeah.
Mhm.
back when the Fed cut rates on September 18th.
Yeah. So about
But
6
since
weeks
then,
ago. Yeah.
But since then, they're ticking back up, and just a lot of volatility in the
Mhm.
bonds market, a lot of uncertainty with Tuesday's election,
Yeah.
and then a lot of uncertainty with what Fed Chair Jerome Powell is going to do next Thursday. Is he going to
Oh.
cut rates 0.25%? Is he going to cut rates half a point?
Yeah.
Or just leave it alone?
Mm.
Because the jobs market report that's out this Friday
Mm-hmm.
will tell us a lot.
Yeah.
But the last rate cut came after 2 jobs reports came in under expectations.
Oh.
So then the rate cut came. So
Yeah.
last month we had over expectations on the jobs report. This Friday will tell us a lot, but a lot of people don't know what he's going to do because usually the market reacts in advance,
Right.
which is what we saw at the end of August. going into September, leading up to the actual rate cut on September 18th.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
The rates were already, the
It was
market
kinda
had
built in.
anticipated,
Yeah.
Mm.
you know,
yeah.
and built in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rate announcement was announced, and then a cut was announced, and then all of a sudden, boop, they start
Oh,
ticking
wow.
back up.
Mm.
So,
Man.
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I still tell people, stay hopeful.
Right.
Mm.
Because when you look at the overall market, yes, on a national level, number of applications are down 1% year over year. But when you look at last week's numbers, locally, bring it back home to Pima County, 581 new listings.
Oh, wow.
And here's why I say stay hopeful.
Mm-hmm.
Because of those listings that are already in the market, there was like 642 price reductions.
Oh,
So stay hopeful,
yeah.
Mm.
because if there's another rate cut and a projected 1% rate cut throughout the course of 2025,
Uh-huh.
you could still be in good position to be able to afford a home
Nice.
and rate refinance to a lower rate
Sure.
when the rates drop.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always hope, and there's so many down payment assistance programs out
Yeah.
there that can help first-time home buyers.
Okay.
So I always say, you know what? At least get into the home,
Mm-hmm.
affordable.
Yeah.
Mm.
Don't go overboard,
Right.
but affordable home. Start to build some equity, and then do a rate refinance when the rates come down, and then start to think about moving up in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Interesting. Something that kind of comes to mind, you know, back in 2020, back when those rates started slowly, quickly creeping up.
Yeah.
I was like, I was trying to be one of those interest rate speculators and be like, I'm gonna wait until the interest rates go back down in a year, a couple years, and then I'll buy my house then. But then, you know, 6 months went by, the rates kept going up. A few months more went by, and I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and buy a house now.
Yeah.
And then if in the future we need to refinance to get a lower rate, then we can do that. But thankfully, when we did buy, we bought soon enough that, you know, used a VA loan. We were still hovering
Yeah.
around 3. It was not bad. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
for,
Yeah.
for
That's
the
really
time.
good. Sure.
And it was such a blessing that we went ahead and pulled that trigger, and we didn't just try to be speculators and try to guess at things that we really didn't have the knowledge for. My wife's a therapist. I run a nonprofit. You know, this isn't our specialty, but regularly we found ourselves trying to be. What do you say to people in those situations that are trying to be speculators of interest rates, and are waiting or are not quite sure what to do?
Even the experts are speculators.
Mhm.
Right.
They're all guessing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and so what I say is a good school of thought is buy now.
Mm.
And the reason for that is because I would just argue, okay, the interest rates are a little bit higher,
Mhm.
but if you get into that home and you can afford a modest home,
Mhm.
even at a 7% interest rate, think about when they drop.
Yeah.
So you can rate refinance, and when the rates drop, you can make back that money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of down payment assistance programs, so take advantage of them now.
Oh,
while,
definitely.
while you can,
Mhm.
you know. And then it always seems like there's more out of pocket,
Yeah.
but really, if you get down payment assistance, you get salary concessions, and this is the key right now. With interest rates the way they're at
Mm.
right now, I just told you there were like 462 rate reductions or repricing on homes.
Okay.
Okay, so that means there's an opportunity to
Right.
get a salary concession. So on the front end, you're getting down payment assistance, right,
Mhm.
as a first-time home buyer.
Mhm.
On the back end, there's still closing costs.
Sure.
You get salary concessions that can help you
Oh, yeah.
pay on the back end so that you have less out-of-pocket money.
Mm.
On the mortgage payment, it might be $200 more per month, but
Mhm.
when you rate refinance, you can make that up
Right.
because of the money that you saved out of pocket today.
Mhm.
Right.
And when the rates drop too low, sellers aren't going to be making concessions for you.
Oh, no. Not
Then
at
there's
all.
going to be bidding wars.
Yeah.
Mm.
And those
Mhm.
bidding wars are going to drive the price up a little bit higher, which
Mm.
could make it unaffordable for you to buy that same
Right.
house you were going to buy for, let's say, $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, those are just trains of thought
Yeah.
that people have. But to say that anyone is an expert on speculating, not even the experts are.
Nice.
You know, it's all a guessing game
Yeah.
in many ways, and projecting.
Right. Steve, we have about 30 seconds. Can you tell us a little bit about Miracle in El Barrio?
It's now called Steve Nunez's Milagro in El
Oh.
Barrio. It takes place
Okay.
on Saturday, December 21st,
Okay.
St. John's Church on 12th
Ah.
and Ajo.
Okay.
And every year for the last 21 years, been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
We've given toys to more than 42,000 kids. I expect to continue to do the same this year.
All right.
I'm
Fantastic.
I'm on my own now with
Okay.
with Milagro,
Okay.
and man, all the help anyone can give us would be greatly appreciated.
And how can
Fantastic.
people get a hold of you?
520-991-2722.
Awesome. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Yeah.
Steve.
Thank you so much.
And of course, it'll be on your webpage.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All
You
right.
got it. We'd like to thank our sponsors: Tucson Pack and Ship, Tucson Tamale, Piper Family Painting, Steamy Concepts, Crest Insurance, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, and Duran Coaching.
And we'll see you right after the break. Go to veteranrescuemission.org for more information about the show, as well as the work we do to help homeless veterans, and picturerockcooling.com for your maintenance call today.
All right, we are back. This is The Guys Next Door, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. I'm your host, Ron Arenas, with my co-host, Pastor John McLean.
Yeah. I am a proud brother.
I knew I had it in me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just took 14 years of being in the business on and off for you to get it down.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
job, bud.
So it'll probably take another 14
Another
years
14,
to do it.
yeah, for sure. It's for you to say it again right.
Right. Well, today we have another one of our friends here on the show, Fareed from Vibrance Automotive.
Hello there.
How
Thank
you
you
doing?
for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys sound like a lot of fun.
We are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
absolutely.
In our own opinions, we're a lot of fun.
We are.
Yeah.
In our own
Personal-
heads, we're great.
Yeah.
Completely unbiased.
Right,
opinions,
right.
right.
Just ask us and we'll tell you.
every time. Yeah, don't ask anybody else, though.
So tell us a little bit about Vibrance Automotive.
Sure. Vibrance Automotive has been a very active evolution of a business.
Okay.
I wasn't always in the automotive industry directly. It actually started off as a lighting business.
Okay.
Oh.
I started off in commercial lighting. The business was called Vibrance Lighting
Mm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
originally.
That's
And
a good name for a lighting industry.
I thought
Yeah.
so too,
Yeah.
right? I thought it would just fit in. And I found that I didn't enjoy doing the commercial lighting so much.
Mm.
Over time, I mean, I did it for 3 or 4 years. We were kind of into it when it was an LED boom.
Mm,
We
right.
we did well for a while there, but we were doing so much automotive lighting
Mm.
Oh.
that at one point, because that was my fun thing, I like the automotive side,
Right.
so let's sell
Mhm.
automotive lights, right?
Mm.
So we developed a few concepts, like lifetime warranties on automotive lights, and
Mm.
people kept asking us for installs. So eventually I said, why not hire a mechanic to do installs on site instead of
Okay.
sending it off to somewhere else?
Yeah.
And
Mm.
very quickly I started thinking to myself, I have a mechanic doing light bulb installs. That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Right? He kind of sat there looking at me like, I could do a lot of stuff these cars
Right,
need.
right.
Mm.
And
These cars
so-
can barely move when they come in here, but they
Yeah.
want brand new lights.
Yeah, like we can offer them anything
Yeah.
at this point, right? And it
Mm.
quickly became a mechanic shop. And then the name change came in, became Vibrance Automotive.
Ah, okay.
And a
Mm.
lot of the concepts that we stuck with, like the lifetime warranties in our lights,
Mm.
we actually brought it into a lot of the parts that
Mm.
now we sell and carry
Mhm.
for our customers. So
Interesting.
Very cool.
there was a very smooth, but in business nothing's ever smooth,
Right.
development
Yeah.
of that business. So that's how we became Vibrance Automotive. And all of this really started at the back of my car. Like I started this business with $8 like 12 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And it developed all into this now. So
Yeah.
Interesting. So,
it's been a journey.
so fill us in more on the who, what, when, where, why of Vibrance Automotive. Where is it located at? How can people plug in with that?
Sure. So we are right now on Stone Avenue. It's 2945 North Stone Avenue.
Okay.
And the vision for the business for me was I didn't want to be every other mechanic shop.
Mm.
Yeah.
My biggest frustration, being someone that is mechanically inclined, I understand what I'm doing most of the time when it comes to automobiles,
Mm-hmm.
is I'd go to a mechanic shop and it just felt intimidating every single time.
Ah,
It was the
yeah.
most frustrating concept for me.
Mhm.
I was given a large bill. I was told this is what you need, take it or leave it.
Right.
Mhm.
And you kind of felt you leave feeling defenseless, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my biggest thing was I want to make sure that we can be as transparent as possible with our clients. I want to have everything we can to show the customer and educate the customer to whatever level they need to feel comfortable,
Right.
and find out where the inefficiencies are in pricing so we can bring that down to something a lot more affordable and palatable for most people.
Mm-hmm.
So there were certain phrases that stuck with me that were very frustrating, alongside with what I dealt with, right?
Uh-huh.
It upsets me when I hear, a woman come in and say, well, I need a man to take care of me here. I need a man to guide me through this.
Mm.
I want it so that anyone
Right.
can just feel comfortable. Like
Mhm.
they felt they had the information to make the proper decision,
Right.
whether it be maybe someone's grandfather, someone's mother. Like
Mhm.
it shouldn't matter who you are. When we're done talking to you and showing you what's going on, you should feel that you have enough information to make your own educated decision.
Mhm.
Right. And I remember my wife saying when she was in your office that she felt comfortable in there, that it didn't look like an auto mechanic office.
Mm.
Thank you.
know,
That's-
you had
that's-
decorations up. It was more soft decorations and
That's
stuff like
part
that.
of the goal,
Yeah.
right? Every mechanic shop wants to bombard you with like, look at these parts, and
Right.
half the time most people don't know what you're looking at,
Mhm.
right? It just feels uncomfortable. It smells like oil a lot of the times in places, right?
Mhm.
And I just don't want that. I
Right.
don't want that to be the experience. I want you to walk in. I want you to feel like you're a kid in a candy shop,
Mm.
right? That's more of what we're going for.
Mhm.
And I want soft smells. I want friendly staff. I
Yeah.
want education being dished out as appropriate to the person needing it, kind of a thing, right?
Mhm.
All that should fall into place so you have a nice, cohesive experience when you're getting vehicles repaired.
Exactly.
And I also don't want to sit there and just bombard people with these large bills
Yeah.
that could be broken up into chunks, right?
Mm,
And, take care of this one on this visit. And then the next visit, we'll take care of this. And just simplify the process
Yeah.
overall.
And that's
Mhm.
exactly what you did with me. I mean, I had some front end issues that needed to be dealt with
Yes.
that I let go for a little while,
Mm.
but we broke it up into different sections so that
Absolutely. And you're not alone is the biggest thing,
yeah.
right? A lot of people let a couple of things go by, then a couple of things become more things. And eventually
Mhm.
they're like, I just don't want to go and find out.
Mhm.
Oh,
You know?
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it.
Mhm.
And then the next thought process kicks in for people. Well, my car is too far gone. It's a rolling hunker junker kind of a thing,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And I should just get rid of it. And then the biggest thing I like to educate people on or remind people is if you did it to this car, you'll do it to the next
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're just
Mhm.
kicking it down the line to what's potentially a more expensive car with more expensive repairs because they're newer.
Mm-hmm.
And so the best thing is the car you have is the most reliable car out there
Right.
because you can fix it, make sure it's in good shape, and in the cases where it's not salvageable, it's not financially viable to repair it,
Mhm.
we'll advise you on that.
Sure.
We'll tell you, hey, you have no business putting any more money into this. Let's find you something different, something better. And we'll even guide you to what might benefit you the most, right?
Mm.
Right. Right. And we can mention that one of our friends of the radio show, Will Pena, he took a vehicle over there for you to check out, and you're like, dude, don't buy this one.
That was a bad car.
Yeah.
That was a bad car.
So you saved him a lot of potential money and repairs. in
Which
this-
is absolutely the hope,
Right,
right? We
right.
want to use our expertise and the fact that, people come in and they
Mhm.
have experience with vehicles. And I try to take the same mentality when I work with anyone, right?
Right.
It's that we see hundreds of cars a month.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to give you a bit more of a solid advice on what's going on. I know about air conditioners, but I'm
Yeah.
going to defer to your expertise and experience more than anything else
Right.
because you see hundreds of them per month, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Just because I say I want a Ream unit and you come at me like, no, man, this Bosch is going to take care of you way better. You're right.
Right.
That's not my field. I'm going to stay in my lane, you
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
It's
Exactly.
little details like that
Yeah.
that I think.
You know your parts and you know what's reliable. You see stuff that comes back on warranty, or you have a service bulletin on something.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's
Will you guys stop talking trade talk here? I'm not in this business you guys talking about.
sorry.
Well, the gist of it is,
Yeah.
Trust your professional.
Trust your,
Trust your
okay, got it.
Trust your professional.
I would
Yeah.
say that absolutely, and that's one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, especially just being in business overall. That specialize in a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
hone in on that, and then delegate. Absolutely delegate.
Right.
Which seems like, I mean, it's, kind of talking about your origin story with where you are now. It seems like that's definitely one of your gifts, is finding the right people for the job and getting them there, or finding good partners that you can trust and going alongside them. And what seems like you've built something pretty solid here.
I appreciate that. I hope so. I would
Mhm.
like to think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a hard lesson, I'd say. It's that delegation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go back to that trade talk for just a moment. I know air conditioners. I could fix
Mhm.
mine. It's just not effective for me to do that.
Yeah.
It is way more effective for me to have someone else do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the same goes to any trade, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm much more effective at staying in my lane at that point.
Mhm.
And you're
Yeah.
right. Finding people is one of the most important things you can do.
It
Creating
is.
solid links, solid networking.
Mm-hmm.
BAT, for example, has been fantastic.
Right.
Holy cannoli, has that been fantastic?
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get Pastor John over there to bat one of these days.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
ready. I'm
Okay.
ready. Yeah, especially since I don't do as many networking meetings at Sands Club anymore.
Yeah.
I got some extra time.
Very good.
Yeah, for sure.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breakfast is fantastic there.
It
That's what I
is.
hear. He's been. I mean, I've known Ron for 1,000 years, so
At least.
he
1,000
mentions
years.
it every Wednesday.
And our good friend Will is also in that group. Yeah.
that'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems like we have a lot of buddies in that group I keep missing, so
Yeah.
now I have a new one.
Yep.
Well, hopefully, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
So Fareed, tell us again where you're at and how people can get to you.
We are at 2945 North Stone Avenue. People can call or walk in. We're more than glad to take care of any one of your automotive needs. Just come
Mm.
on and talk to us. We'll even give you advice if you need it.
All right.
Nice.
Maybe you don't leave with anything paid for, but we'll take care of you either way.
Very good. And that's Vibrance Automotive.
Yes.
And what's the phone number?
520-261-3533.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, Tucson Pack and Ship, Tucson Tamale, Piper Family Painting, Steamy Concepts, Crest Insurance, Duran Coaching, and Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Yeah, and thank you all for listening. If you want more information about the show, go to commongoodtucson.com to find out more about the Guys Next Door radio show, as well as it's that time of year to check out your heating system and get it all maintenance and checked out. The first customer to call gets a free maintenance checkout on Ron Arenas.